Hello everyone, it's Dasher Dave here again, and I'm back for another crafty video. So, today, I've sat here this weekend thinking I'd really like some more papers that were like Tim Holtz. Now, I've looked and I've tried to find some, and some, you can get some that are quite similar, but they're quite expensive. I mean, like there was one book that it was definitely in around the £35 range. Alexa, what's £35 in dollars?
£35 is about $44 and 52 cents.
So about $45 for 12 pages. These are 36. These used to cost me about between £15 and £20, but they don't do them anymore. So I thought I really like the kind of the aesthetic of these. So like, you know, this kind of the way, the composition. And I've got lots and lots and lots of craft pads where I've got stuff that is nice, but it's not like, you know, standout. So it's stuff like this where it's just plain paper now. And as much as I like them, they're a bit one note for me. So what I thought was, why don't I see if I can make my own? So what I did was I took a base, and I'm going to show you a big reveal. Drum roll. The big reveal is I made this, and I thought I'm really chuffed with that. I think that looks really good. So, and that is literally just taking a base, and I'm going to do this one I think today because I want to put this into my my folio journal thing that I've been making, you know, this folio series thing where we put the tie on last time, and I thought I'm going to do that with you guys because I know loads of you will have stuff like this where you think it's a bit one note and you'd like to have a bit more of a full spectrum of notes going on. You know, you can't make an orchestra if you all sing the same note. An orchestra, I mean, a thing. And if you can't fill in the blanks for me, then heaven knows. So what I thought was, let's make something like that. So which is going to be fairly easy because I've got most of the stuff hanging around anyway. So I've just got bits of paper that I had for various things, and I'm just going to turn them into a thing of beauty. Well, there's not much pressure going on here. So I just want you to be confident to do the same thing. I've got a glue book somewhere. There it is. I want you to be confident to just give all of this kind of stuff a go. Just don't throw out that pad because actually you could make something out of it. Now I know that lots of people cover them in gesso and that sort of thing. Now you know I have a bit of an aversion to gesso because it's got that chalky feel that I'm not right keen on. Don't like the texture of it, so I thought this is an alternative to that. So you also don't try and go just one direction. There's already a band called One Direction. You don't need to be there doing that as well. You don't have to be one note, and you don't have to be one direction. Where's my little card? Let's find the card. Let's find a card. There we go, just a smooshing card. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to put some layers down, and we're going to enjoy it. So it's a bit of collaging really. So and there is no kind of rhyme or reason to how you do it. You just put it on until you are happy with the result. No, Dave, that's got the lid off. Don't try and touch it. But it's something, you know, I thought it's a good idea. I know it sounds like I'm being very big-headed when I say things like that, but, you know, it is. It's, you know, use what you've got. Don't worry about the fact that you don't have everything. You really do not need everything. You know me, I like a nice bit of a random edge. And we're going to stick it all down until we're happy. And, well, we're happy anyway. If you're happy and you know it, stick something down. I'm just giving it a smoosh down. So I like to smoosh down with a card of some kind, because it just helps to adhere the things. So I do have a few bits around me that I was going to use, but I can't find them. So bear with me. Bear with. So I've got a bit of a National Geographic book. It's got some nice, it's got some of this yellow tone in it, which would go nicely with the project that I am working on. And I do have some more book pages somewhere under the calyx, way down low, there's a place where I store it, and I can't think of another line. So, sorry folks, I will come back. Thought I had everything, but you know what thought did? Oh no. You know what curiosity did, isn't it? I don't know. Did thought do something as well? That's got a too straight a edge for me. I know it was random, but I like it to look more random than it was randomly. How random of me. The Singing Crafter. Dave, the Singing Crafter. You don't want me to sing. You don't want me to sing properly. Well, I'd like to be able to sing properly, but I can't. So, so let's put some more stuff down. So I kind of just went at it, a bit bull in a china shop style. Didn't have any kind of rhyme or reason to anything. There was no, I'm going to put this here and this is going to look like this or whatever. I kind of just did it. Yeah, that's going to go across that bottom edge there. And then that way then, it's a bit random. If you try and place everything in a specific place, you end up overthinking the whole process, and it looks, I don't know, less organic. Look, you see, I've got this, which is beautiful. Look at that. That is from this, which is a minuet in G, in G. A minuet in G. For piano with a violin part. I could probably do, well, no, I couldn't do the violin part. I can't read music anymore. I used to play the violin. I say used to play the violin. I was made to play the violin, and when I say play, I mean torture people with a violin. And strangely, it was my parents that encouraged me to torture them with the violin. So, Yehudi Menuhin, I was not. You need to shut up. I was. But Yehudi Menuhin, I wasn't. Yes, I know. It's a running joke. I am a running joke. That's true. Well, no, I'm not a running joke. You've never seen me run. If you see me run, it's not me. I've been cloned. If you see me running. There we go. Didn't catch that edge, so I just glued it down with a bit of wet glue. So whatever not. So we'll put some more of this on there. I think we'll have a bit of that. Not sure where I want it though. Maybe we should go a bit omnidirectional. Omnidirectional, like I know what I'm talking about. I don't even know whether that's a term. Omnibus, omnidirectional. I don't know. I Honestly, I don't know what's wrong with me today. I've been in a giddy mood all day, and it's not getting any better. It's just more of the same. More of the same. Right, that needs gluing down before I do anything else, Dave. Because it needs to all be stuck. All of it needs to be stuck down. We need something around here, maybe something from the National Geographic, maybe. Because that's got the same sort of yellow on it. We'll just have that right there, maybe. And you kind of just go, obviously you want to keep some of the background, otherwise there's no, well, like if you want to just collage, then just collage, but what I was trying to do is keep some of the background visible, so it's available. In fact, I am going to put it that way up, because then it's omnidirectional, isn't it? Oh, again, stop using words that you don't know whether they exist or not. You just sound like an idiot. Well, I'm only sounding like something I am. So I'm going to tear some of this out. It's really hard to tear. I was going to say lace. It's not lace. What's it called? Doilies. Because they have a tendency to just want to tear, you know, in a very straight line where all the perforations are. So you're just trying to encourage it to do something a bit different. And you don't want to press down too much on a doily, because otherwise all your glue just ends up going, see, like that, shredding off between all the holes. You want to kind of just cover the back of it so it sticks down. Maybe the splodgy technique is the best. Just be careful you don't rip it. Stick that, I don't know, like that, maybe. And you're just creating a few layers. You don't want to go like full on plaster it all, cover it all up, jobby, but just enough. Those look a little bit new for me. A little bit too bright. Where's my other book? Have you had it? Have you stolen it? Who's put that? What? Who? What? Who? What? Where on earth? I've just had a book with it all in. Oh, it's this. That's one of the things I was looking for. Not all. Ah. Here we go. 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 So you can always use these kind of, you know, these wordy comments out of books, because that's again something that's found on the Timmy stuff. And you just have to be kind of a bit brazen about it. You have to just think it's a process. You keep going until you're happy. And if that happiness is only accomplished by the time you've covered the whole thing up, then that's it. And if you're not happy about it, then don't have enough glue on that end, then do it, leave it, and come back to it, because you might be happier after you've... Oh, Dave, stop throwing things around. You might be happier after you come back to it. This is still not gluey in the bit that you want. There you go. I want it that way up. So I'm trying to make it omnidirectional. Again, stop using that word. That word. because I want it to look interesting. So this is a book of vintage invoices, paper collection, 20 sheets, 2 of each design. They're just like photocopies, I think, of invoices, and I could have sworn that said Dave Flynn there, but it doesn't. It just looks like Flynn at the end, but it doesn't say Dave Flynn at all. You're going to say, "Oh, Dave, don't do that. You just torn it all up." But it's only a photo. They're only like regeneration. They're not real. So, yeah, I'll put that on there. And then you could always knock it all back with a bit of, if you wanted to knock this completely back before you put anything on it, you could have knocked it back with a bit of gesso, if you like such thing. I tend to not use gesso, and if I do use anything, I like to use a bit of napkin. So the interlayers of the napkins I'll put over something first. You know how we did the layers of napkin before? So remember the spaces that you've got, you can leave or you can cover, like I say. It's not really, you're just collaging if you knock it all back. But I don't want that there, do I? Maybe that there. Yeah, let's put that there. I might just change the colour of this, just ink it a bit. I can't remember what I was saying. So yeah, just keep going until you're happy. And then of course you can always leave some of those spaces, because you can cover them up with other things, because that's the other beauty, is you can cover it up with stuff. Where's my glue book on? Stop moving the glue book, Dave. I'm just going to flip the page. Because we're going to put birds or flowers or something on it as well. I tend to use like just paper versions rather than the sticky flowers, the ones that are like plasticky stuff, because otherwise it's too much. I don't know. I'm not sure whether I really like that in the background. What's on the back? So, like I say, just keep going until you're happy. Tear that off. Might put some of that. So the layers also make it interesting. Again, we'll get. Didn't I just say stop moving the flaming glue book? We did just say that, but yeah. So you just keep going. Make some layers, because it's more interesting when it's got some dimension, some depth to it. Make sure that's all covered. Oh, my fingers are definitely covered in glue. Just move it out of the way rather than get rid of it. I don't know where I was going to put this now. Wasn't it here somewhere? I think it were. And again, stick it down. And I'm going to put some more. Move that out of the way. I'll put some more little bits of book page, not huge pieces this time. Maybe do that bit of a different colour just to give it some interest. Make it look like it's cut from a different cloth. Cut from a different cloth. Glue book. Yeah, so I use one of those because like my fingers obviously get very dirty because I do a lot of videos back to back, and I don't go and wash my hands every time because I end up with very dry hands. So I've stopped doing that. Used to stop doing it because it was really not good for my hands. Might use a bit of this page because it's got a nice bit of green on it. And I haven't introduced green elsewhere, so maybe get rid of Reader's Digest. Or oh, I don't know, maybe. Don't want a straight line though, do I? You knew I was going to say that. Maybe if we have the straight line somewhere else though. Maybe like that. Yeah, let's get rid of that. Tiny edge. Maybe put that like that. Or there. No, like that. Just like that. Oh. Flip the page. If you didn't do it right in the middle, Dave, every time, you wouldn't have to keep flipping the page. But I have, and I will, and you can't stop me. I can't stop me. If I can't stop me, you definitely can't stop me. An iceberg? No, sorry. An octopus? Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. A bit more green. Just trying to get it to tear what I want it to. Tear where you want to. Tear around the world. Without wheels, with the yeah, I don't know the words. Graham, if you want to, I know the words. But other than that, no idea. Other than that, not a lot. I'll put that on there. Okay, so I think I've kind of covered as much as I want to cover in that sense. So now I'm thinking about things I want to layer on top of it. So let's just put these things together, the bits that are practical and useful, Dave. Not scratty bits of paper that you might not do anything with. Where's the piece of that? I love that, so I'm keeping that. Definitely keeping that. Sorry about my squeaky chair, by the way. So what we'll do is we'll just cut the edges off now. I know I've almost completely covered the thing. That's because the paper was a bit modern for my liking, but we're going to make it, so that you've got glimpses of it, but you don't. It's not all the same. I think it'd have been better using the back. Back has got a much smaller design on it, but let's get rid of these ickle bits. Inky, pinky little bits. Pop them in there. So let's have a look at my flowers. Right, so these are my big flowers. So we're going to have a look and see what we've got. Ooh, that is quite spectacular, isn't it? Spectacular. That's definitely not one I fussy cut. I think that's one that Brian fussy cut for me. It's far too intricate for me to have fussy cut that. I'd have really lost the will to live. Maybe that. And maybe a bird. So let's go with those. Or we could have a fruit or something. Let's get me bird box. Oh. Everything's going to fall down now. Let's get the fruit box. So what's in the fruit box? That's not a fruit, that's an onion. Fruitalicious. So nothing really cut out in a fruity style, so we won't bother with that for now. I'm not fussy cutting on this video. Nobody wants to see me put through that pain. So, or nobody wants to be put through that pain. I do have that one that fell out earlier. Don't know whether that's... Don't know what he's doing. It looks like he's dead. He's upside down. It's quite nice though. That's flowers. Oh no, it's a bird and flowers. Is that going to be too much? Yeah, it's too much. I like that, and I would like that. Could they work somewhere? They could work somewhere. They could work there, couldn't they? They're not covering too much of that up. Or they could kind of be behind there. Yeah, let's get them. Let's use them. Put the bird box back. Right. I know I said it wasn't a fussy cut, but if a bird loses its beak, it wasn't, you know, deliberate. It was just how I fussy cut. So, and I know that you're all thinking, well, you do a better job if the scissors were smaller, and you know, I probably would, but. And I do normally cut with smaller scissors, but I still use quite large scissors for fussy cutting. I find that I get a better result from larger scissors than I do from smaller scissors, and that's because I don't have to do so many open and closes, because I can just cut with the length of the blade in one kind of smooth action, which, I mean, it has its pitfalls, because you can just keep jumping and cut somebody's toe off like I could have done there, but I didn't. So I'm going to just follow. I don't think I've cut anything off yet. I'm just going to follow that all the way round for now. I might come back and cut it out better. I'm doing quite well, bearing in mind I normally have my tongue out for this, so don't have my tongue out because I wouldn't be able to talk otherwise. And bearing in mind I do have a migraine whilst I'm doing this, so it's it's very painful concentrating. I'd better set myself up for these things all the time. So, you know, it's only myself to blame here, so. So the margin, the border, the white border that it's got, does vary quite considerably around this bird, but hey. Yeah, sorry, your leg's in the way. I can't see whether you're going to cut anything off. No, you're fine. So I might just have to cut the other side kind of the same border so that it's similar. I like them to have a bit of a border because I think it helps them to stand out on a page. And I know that there was like some kind of a rock that I'd kind of originally cut out in the black and white, but I'm not going to bother with that. And cut the tip of his wing off, but don't want to clip his wings, don't want him to stop him from flying, do we? Or her, I don't know. Is it him or a her? It's a them. They haven't told me what their pronouns are, so I'll just refer to them as them until I'm corrected. So. So, nearly done. Just going to cut this bit here, the bit between them. Now, the back of his head. That's alright. Do I want to come back and do that bit between his toes just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit more. Give me just a little. No. No, Dave. Absolutely not. There we go. So, get that out of the way. Right, just get rid of all the bits. So I think I'm going to put that up there. Although I do think he does look like he's dead, but I quite like it up there. I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to put that there, and then I think maybe, do I want those on there, or do I want those there, and then those there, that there? I think I'm going to go for that. So this is going to be stuck down around here, but before I do that, I do want to make sure that the background is kind of softened down. Doesn't have to be obliterated, just softened. So I don't want it to be completely brown, I just want it to be cream. Maybe I should use the vintage photo that has actually got some colour in it, but just be careful, Dave, because it'll be quite juicy. It just softens it, and then it kind of blends in and looks like it should be there, rather than it being very white and standing out and looking obvious. So I hope this is going to inspire you, and if it is inspiring you, of course give it a like, because you should always give it a like if you enjoyed it. If you enjoy anything anybody does on YouTube, give it a like. Okay, that's the wrong way up, that's the right way up, Dave. So, although, it's omnidirectional, as we've pointed out. So that's going to go there. We need to ink these fellas down so that they're not too crisp and white. They kind of look more creamy and old and sumptuous and sorry, no, I'm not going to eat you, don't worry. Don't worry. Fret thee not. So that's them. And I'm just going to do the same with the I mean, like it could have been cut out a little bit better, maybe, Dave. Maybe, Dave. Don't know what's going on with the border on this one, because some of it's got some white border, some of it hasn't. That's because this is pain in the bottom to cut. How do you get your fingers out of the way of that? I guess if the scissors were smaller it might be easier. But I'm rolling with it. You gotta roll with it. You gotta take your time. You gotta stay. Sorry, now you can tell when I'm doing proper concentrating. Proper grown-up concentrating, because I stick your tongue out and I can't talk. How Not to Fussy Cut, the series. I could do a whole series on How Not to Fussy Cut. All the different ways of how not to fussy cut. And every way would produce with the way that I do it. So I'd make a less ham-fisted finish if I was using my left hand. That is ham-fisted, my left hand. It looks like a piece of ham. Look, oh no, Dave, ham-fisted. Don't know where that term. Now my brain's going. Where did that term come from? Where did that? And I've got this thing about I have to do loads of research over why something is why we say the things that we say and where the sayings come from, and it's quite challenging to be hanging around me for too long. I'm full of useless information that nobody really ever wanted to know. So you know what, I'm not going to bother about a whole lot of it. I'm just going to smoosh it with a bit of this. You won't see the white so much. It'll just look like part of the page. Bit of smooshy. It'll just kind of help it to pop. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So yeah, so that's going to go on, and then I think that's going over the top. It is. Or is it going over the top? Dave, are you really going over the top? Not you, surely not. And this one's not getting any more fussy cutting out than it already is. It's not very fussy. It's non-fussy. Oh, I don't. What's the opposite of fussy? Don't know. No idea. Somebody out there will know. Put it in the comments if you know what the opposite of fussy is. That's got sticky front to it, so we're just going to open this up so we can. Quite like those that image, so I might use that to cut out. But so just going to glue all over and then kind of concentrate on getting the edges. Hopefully I can do it all with the glue stick rather than having to come back and do it with wet glue. Go outwards all the time. Just be careful on that bit. Don't rip it off, Dave. But then you also want to make sure that the inner bit is stuck down, because then if you cut the page in any way, you're not going to have a pocket of air. Oh. Which way up was it? That way up, wasn't it? Was it that way or was it that way? Actually, it is supposed to be that way, I think. But I think we had it this way, so we're going to go with this way because that's the way we had it. And then we can smoosh that down nicely. Oh, excuse me, move your beak. Then we can put this on. Again, catching the edges. Don't pull his feet off, Dave. Nearly. We nearly lost our footing. In fact, he might lose his footing in a second when I peel him up. Oh, look how close that was to coming off. Oh well. I'll put him on and then correct that in a second. Pop him. Where did we want him? Wanted him that way a bit more, didn't we? Yeah, because that's fine. We'll put him there. Stick his foot back on. This is going to be even more tricky to put down. This one, so we want to make sure the page is not sticky in any way. Get a full glue bit out. Right, hold all the bits still while you do it all so you don't rip them, Dave. All the way out on those fronds. Well, they're not fronds, they're leaves, but you know what I mean. There we go. And then that can stick on there like so. And I think, oh actually no, we haven't stuck that down, so we'll stick that down and then I think that looks good and I think I'm happy. I think, and therefore I am. I thunked. So we've definitely gone from 0 to hero with this page. Where is the lid? Is that? So there we go. So that's our page that, oh actually, look, should we put some sellotape on it as well? Let's put some sellotape. I think it always looks good with a bit of sellotape, don't you? Well, you know, sticky tape or whatever it is. Scotch tape, whatever you call it, wherever you are. So this is the stuff that I've already coloured and done. So we'll have maybe, I don't know, kind of have it a bit like that. So it should be sticky enough. If not, no, it's definitely sticky enough because it's pulling up the other end. But we can just, right, that's folded over on itself. Let's just snip that off and pull it off. So any bits that aren't sticking down, we can stick down with some wet glue. No, we can't because I left the lid off it, Dave. Get that off the end of my finger, please. Come on. Just scraped away a clean bit. Like loading your cannon. You have to jibby jabby it. That, and we'll have a bit more. Let's have a piece of this. It's kind of got some striations on it. Let's cut that. Tear it naturally. There we go. Maybe a bit more. Use this base. Again, we'll just need to get rid of that end because it kind of curls up a bit. There we go. Remember, it's all about adding a bit of interest to it. So there we go, that's it. So we have made our own version of Tim Holtz paper from paper we had. So this was this pattern in the background all over it, and it was just, like I say, just too much of the same thing. Not enough not enough notes in it for me. There's too one note for me. So so I hope that's kind of something you thought, oh, actually, I could definitely do that. I've got loads. I bet you've got loads of paper that you don't use because it's all a bit one note. So it's kind of a bit collaging before you make something, because of course I'm obviously going to cut this down in some way, but I really like them. I think they've turned out really great, and now I'm not quite so worried about using my Tim Holtz because I think, you know what, I can make something very similar. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you'll give it a go. If you did like the video, give it a thumbs up. That's the only way I will know, and that's the only way that the algorithm will know that you liked it, because just watching it doesn't mean enough. So give it a thumbs up, help me grow my channel, help me get my voice out there a bit more. Everybody wants to hear my voice, he says, tongue in cheek. Oh, well, just found another piece that's not stuck down properly. No, I appreciate that I've got a dull tones, no dulcet tones, just dull tones. Oh, I can't get that out of there. So, yes, so if you like the video, please tell me so by giving it a thumbs up. If you found it useful, maybe you share it with your friends, tell them about it. If you are new here and you'd like to subscribe, I would love you to. That would be great. If you want to support me on Ko-fi or Buy Me a Coffee, you can. My Buy Me a Coffee has been reinstated now that I've told the it's paid through Stripe, and Stripe wouldn't let me use it anymore because it kept wanting me to tell it what my tax return was, and that I was a US citizen and I wasn't. So I had to find out how you tell it that I'm not a US citizen. So anyway, that's all sorted. That's all reinstated now. So you can do buy me a coffee with a one-time tip. Both Ko-fi and buy me a coffee are a one-time tip, or you can subscribe to my Ko-fi if you wish. Just to kind of regularly support me. You can do that for just me as an individual, or if you tell us that you're doing it for me and Brian as the podcasts, then that's great. But other than that, I will love you and leave you. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Dash of Dave, and I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, folks. Lots of love. Lots of hugs. Lots of growling hugs, obviously. And I'll see you soon. Take care, folks. Love you. Bye. An octopus?